On the surface, Jonathan Kuminga's numbers may look pedestrian, especially compared to his rookie peers, but when you look at the context of the team he's on and the role he plays, as well as the minutes that he plays, especially compared to the other rookies in the league, it makes more sense why his numbers may not look great compared to his rookie peers. But when I watch the tape of Jonathan Kuminga, I see a player with a lot of untapped potential that isn't even scratching the surface of how good he can be. In today's video, I'll be breaking down the game of Jonathan Kuminga and what I believe his ceiling as an NBA player is. Quickly, before we do get into today's video, if you're new and you like basketball, I really think you'd love this channel. Haven't already, like, subscribe, hit notification bell, notified whenever I release a video. I make videos that are breaking down the film of NBA players and basketball players in general, so if that's something that interests you, this is the channel for you. Let's try to get 100 likes on this video so YouTube will recommend it to others. That being said, let's get right into the video. I think it's safe to say that Jonathan Kuminga has not been a self-creator in the NBA as a rookie, to say the least. He has a 62.8% frequency on field goals that come within 10 feet, does not take a lot of jumpers to say the least, has a 55.6 frequency on field goals he takes 0 dribbles on, has a 24.2 frequency on his field goals where he takes between 1 to 2 dribbles, 62.5% frequency on field goals being less than 2 seconds after he touches the basketball. He doesn't take many threes, but has a 29.5% frequency on catch and shoot threes. Doesn't really take a lot of pull-up, stuff like that, to say the least. Now, when you compare this to the other side of the equation, where he only has a 20.3% frequency on field goals where he takes 3 or more dribbles, a 6.1% frequency on his pull-up jumpers, 33% frequency on field goals where he takes between 2 to 6 seconds from the moment he touches the basketball, and a 4.6% frequency on his field goals of 6 or more seconds from the moment he touches the basketball. There's a very simple reason why Jonathan Kuminga is not getting a lot of opportunity as a self-creator in the on-ball reps, because he didn't go to a normal situation that a top 10 pick goes to. Most top 10 picks go to situations where they get to be at least some form of a focal point of the offense because the team isn't good. The Warriors are a very good team. They have the best point guard in the league in Steph Curry. Klay Thompson is back. He's one of the best shooters in the league. Andrew Wiggins, I know the All-Star selection was a bit egregious as a starter, but he's been really good this year. Jordan Poole has been an awesome shot creator in the starting role before Klay got back, and as a bench player since Klay has gotten back. And Draymond Green, when healthy, is a passing playmaker. Plus, this team is contending, so he's not going to get a bunch of on-ball reps like you would expect him to if he went to a team like Houston or Orlando. And while I do think Kuminga would get more opportunity on a bad team, I don't know if it would necessarily be a good thing. In the current role he has with the Golden State Warriors, he's limited but really efficient. But we can use his D-League sample from both pre-NBA and NBA combined to show just how much of a contrast the efficiency is when he gets more freedom. In the NBA, he has a 50.9 field goal percentage and a 59.52 shooting percentage. However, in 15 G-League games, combining his Ignite and Warriors tape, he has a 37.1 field goal percentage with a 49 true shooting percentage. I think this says a lot about a player in two different contexts. One context limits what he does as a player, and in all honesty has him playing a role within the offense that fits his strengths as a player. In another context, he gets more freedom and room, which leads to potentially forcing bad shots and maybe trying things he might not be capable of. Now, seeing a player having an efficiency drop isn't uncommon when they are given more freedom and opportunity as a player. Pascal Siakam is a big example of this, going from the guy next to Kawhi Leonard as a second option to the main option, where as that guy next to Kawhi, Pascal was super efficient, to where really Pascal became the lead guy, he wasn't as efficient. It's not to the level of Kuminga, but it is a good example of it in my opinion. However, while this is common and to be expected, the Warriors need Kuminga to be as efficient as possible if he's going to be a consistent rotation player for them, both in the regular season and the playoffs. Maybe not as a rookie in the playoffs, but definitely following his rookie season in the playoffs, and limiting what he does within the offense is the best way to do it. But to actually talk about Jonathan Kuminga's strengths as a player, he attacks very well downhill or with any sort of momentum. He has a 63.4 field goal percentage within 10 feet and a 69.2 field goal percentage within 5 feet. He shoots 71.5% in the restricted area, where he takes more than double the amount of field goal attempts compared to any other area on the court. What makes Kuminga such a hard player to stop in the closer areas of the basket is his strength and athleticism. At only 19 years old, Kuminga has a great frame at 6'7", 225 pounds, and a 6'11" wingspan. He has very good vertical athleticism and uses his strength to his advantage and can finish above the rim. It's hard to stop someone with any type of movement momentum attacking the basket when they have the physical tools that he does, and the Warriors have done a good job at getting him opportunities to use these advantages. In fact, I think he's at his best when he gets opportunities on the fast break or when he goes coast to coast off getting a rebound. This also leads to a decent amount of free throw attempts at times. He has flashed the ability to draw fouls, but it is something that will need work, and it's common for young players to need work in this area. Not only do I believe that the ability to get downhill and attack the basket is his best skill now, I think it will be his best skill in his prime as well. As far as shooting and self-creating goes, it isn't good right now. He shoots 30.5% on his jump shots this season. Sometimes, and actually most of the time, I just think it's bad shot selection that all young players struggle with. And I do think the Warriors have done a good job of limiting his opportunities that he could take a bad shot, and that's helped him out a lot. I actually like Kuminga's form. It kind of reminds me of Kawhi Leonard's. Sometimes I do think Kuminga could hold his follow through a bit longer than he does, however. Almost all of his three-point attempts are off catch and spot up. I think he actually has a decent amount of potential as a spot up shooter because his misses as a spot up shooter aren't that bad, and there's nothing really shocking, at least to me, about his misses. He does a good job at catching the basketball in rhythm and firing. He still has a ways to go with it, and I don't think his shooting will ever be a big time tool for him, but I do believe it can be a complementary skill that he has. As a shot creator, I view this the same way as I view his shooting in general. He has a solid handle. It could improve. It's nothing special, but I don't think it's actually even that bad. And I don't think he'll ever be a big time shot creator like a Paul George or Kevin Durant. I think the potential that he could be something like that is rather far-fetched, but I do think he can be a solid shooter and a solid shot creator in due time, and I think those could be complementary skills that make his slashing ability and ability attacking downhill even more deadly, as they will be enough of a threat. Again, I need to see these things happen before I actually say that they will happen, because only time will tell. But I do think the potential there to be solid in these areas. Two things I want to touch on quickly, because I don't really think I did enough research or got enough of a feel on these two things to do a full breakdown of them, are the defense and the passing. Now defensively, I think he does have a lot of potential. There are rookie mistakes that all rookies make. I think at best he will be somebody that can guard a few positions like forwards and wings. I don't know if he'll ever be someone that can full-time handle guards, but I think he can hold his own against guards in the future and defend against some bigs as well. I do think being a bit shorter may hurt him against defending bigs, but I do also believe that he does have a decent amount of potential in this area of the game. On top of this, I also believe as a passer, he does make the basic reads good enough. I don't think that he's ever going to be some special passer, but I think getting to a competent level is something that is very realistic for him. He's not great at it right now, does make some bad decisions, but I do think there is potential growth in this area that is realistic. I think at his best, Jonathan Kuminga can be what Pascal Siakam was when the Raptors won the title. A play finisher that is very effective at what they do, and they're more known for their ability to finish around the basket, be a slasher, but they do have the shot creating and the shooting as a back pocket tool, and they're a decent passer and defender as well. I think that depending on who you talk to, that may be too high or too low of a ceiling, and it all depends on your opinion on Pascal Siakam and Jonathan Kuminga, because those are two of the more players where the opinions on them are all over the place. I do think that Kuminga has a lot of potential. I think sometimes people overthink this a bit much. He's far from a finished product right now, but the tools are there to be a very good player. And again, whether you like Pascal Siakam or not, Pascal Siakam has proven he can be one of the 3 best players on a team that wins a title. And I think that's what Kuminga can be at his best. And will he reach the ceiling? Only time will tell.